Welcome along, Wednesday night, hump day ride here in Australia. We have quite a few people lining up for this one. Should be a bit of fun. 1 hour ride, we're in Paris for this one. And yeah, as the title of the video says, the Garmin Instinct Esports watch. We'll see how it goes. I've got the overlays up here on screen, which won't match up until we start riding. We'll have a look at how they go. I'd have the Wahoo heart rate strap on, the ticker. And then that's the heart rate you're obviously seeing over in the corner there. We'll see how it tracks up with the wrist-based one. I never have much luck with wrist, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. The second one there is stress, and the other one is body battery. So we'll see. My stress is at 97. Is that out of 100? I think I can change that threshold. We'll just see what those numbers do, though. I'm not sure what the numbers mean. Well, I know what they mean, but I don't know what it means physically for me, how I feel. Could I go to 150% stress? We don't know. We'll find out. We'll just keep an eye on the numbers, though. I thought it'd be interesting to spin up tonight's stream with this watch and the overlay here with OBS. Luke Smith, welcome along. Jeremy, hey, hey. Ash, Zwift keeps crashing. What potato are you running Zwift on that it crashes? No cadence, no. Apparently the Gplama Noser S doesn't have cadence. I've had trouble with my Zwift cadence. It picks up 0. Actually, we've got 2 minutes. We'll have a look. So if I go A, now I have the Powder Max, I have Asioma Duos, and I have the Gplama Noser, which I think I'll have to go look back at my notes. I believe it transmits cadence, but it's 0. Yeah. What's my sugar-free drink in the background? Hang on, what? Hang on. Where's my sugar-free energy drink in the background? Sugar-free? That's just water, you mean? See, I don't understand why my Zwift over Bluetooth isn't picking up cadence. Meh. I'm recording elsewhere anyway. It's just, it would be visually nice to have a representation of my CAD. Okay. But Noser S power, Noser S control. There's no calibration or spin down, so I haven't been able to do that. We're gonna run. Oh, sorry, esports watch. Yes, okay. Yes, I get the reference now. And tonight we have some riders facing the wrong way. Let's have a look. Oh, there we. Oh, what are you doing, guys? The race is this way. Come on, turn around. Turn around. What are you doing? It's probably more aero to race with your butt forward. Hey, maybe. I think it's a bit of a bug on the Paris course. One of the first ones here with the ride leader, Tim the Bacon Searle. So I'm front line here. Yes, no RPM tonight on that. No one. We'll see how these numbers go up in the top corner. How are we lining up for heart rate? Nah, as I said, I never have much luck. I think it's because I don't move my arms at all and they go dead cold like a crocodile. Let's see how we go. 39 seconds. I better spin up. I better spin. Cadence from the ticker X. Well, as you can see me moving a little, that's where I'll get the cadence from. My small... It might work okay. I'm not going to test that tonight. That is 50 million things happening at once. All right. You think Zwift could upgrade to smart trainers? As in... Angela from New Zealand, welcome along. And it's on, we go. We are go. My overlay works. I think my Zwift noise is going to be a little louder. That's a... Jump into the mixer here and pull that down. Woo. Shush, Zwift, shush. Shush. Alright, what's the lead in? Oh, look out. Fence is on. Does my stress level go up when the fence is on? You know what feels weird? I have pedals that are now straight on the bike. I'm back to... Oh, come on, noise. Are you serious? They've left that world noise on. Okay, there goes all my Zwift noises for the night. I'm not going to be doing that for an hour. Oh shit, now I'm over. The joys of live streaming. That's horrendous. There's a few noises there. Like when you go past a waterfall and things, it's crazy loud. And yeah, the cobbles are loud. But anyhow, I'm sure someone's raised a support ticket about that. Ah, yes, there's no spin down for this trainer either, which is a bit of a problem. All right, let me get settled in. 3-second power, that's what I'm after. Right, okay. We're good. How are my metrics looking? Hey, the heart rate's not too far off. Not too far off. I'll try and keep an eye on it. You can set the game sounds to low settings. Yeah, I don't want to... I'd rather ride my bike than have to mess with settings for every single ride depending on what course we're on. That's not cricket. That's not cricket. How many did we get in the bunch here? Over 200, that's not bad. We're up against the Zwift Academy stuff, I believe. I've got the Asiamis in front of me. I need some left-right power. Almost up against the fence. Interesting response yesterday from Majin regarding my video on the power meter there. It is what it is. The power meter told the story itself. If you saw that video, it's a Kickstarter. Where's balance? So I'm just changing my Garmin screens in front of me so I can make sure. There we go. I'm good on the pedals. I assume Majin would have just ignored my video and taken the feedback. They had the feedback prior to me publishing the video. Because I think I make it very, very clear that what people do with their own money is their own thing. The video's not an endorsement. Without reaching through the screen and grabbing people by the scruff of the neck and telling them not to invest, I think I made the message clear about being very careful with Kickstarter power meter promises. Majin used that as... They've posted that video to their Kickstarter page. That was surprising. But it is what it is. Feels weird though being back on pedals that are flat. Because the last few days my left has been doing that weird circle work. And now the left is dead flat. I've got to learn to... You know when you put tight socks on for the first time? And you're like, oh, that feels a bit tight. 5 minutes later you forget about it. Yeah, that. But all good. Good to see a company on the front foot with that. They've responded, saying they'd address all the issues. The crank, they'd sent the crank like underpants. Exactly. They sent the crank to a number of YouTubers. So if I was doing, I guess, pre-production or preview testing or anything like that, and they wanted the private feedback before I went public, that's fine by me. I can do that. I'm out riding all the time. I can usually shoehorn some other testing in. But they pretty much just sent the crank to everyone and just said, here you go. No restrictions. But we'll see what they do with it. I thought I was a Twitcher. I was going to go on TikTok, mate, but I haven't got the rhythm, nor the user account. 10 riders wide. Sort of losing a bit of the feeling without the ride noise. The ride noise in this course is horrendous. I've switched that down. I might go into the settings now. I'm back into a rhythm here. How's my stress going there? I'm dead. Okay. Okay, Garmin. No worries. Heart rate is on point. Yeah, it's not bad. Bit unfortunate that I've died though in the center. I'm looking at the graphics at the top. They don't have them. Probably seem a little bigger there. There are thresholds that can be set, but I don't know what that number really means. Heart rate's obviously self-explanatory. Machine power meter with an Ultegra crank. The left-hand only one is good, the Ridge. Yeah, that's tests okay. And there's no question of why they went to their own crank. Is to get away from the right-hand side Shimano crank. And as you saw, steady state efforts worked all right. In perfect conditions, it was all good. Why don't I have cadence? I'd love to know. It's a question for both Acer and Zwift. Acer being the trainer that I'm on, I don't think it transmits cadence. And Zwift, when I went to the pairing menu for the last 2 weeks, cadence only shows up on my heart rate. No idea. I'm recording everything else with some other sensors and my Garmin head unit, so I'm not too stressed about that. But it would be nice to have things working that should have been working back 10 years ago. Return to group. All right. Gonna turn this fan up a little bit. Cadence is on my companion. Yeah, it's making it up. It's faking it. That's another mystery, isn't it, though? Why have I got 64 RPM on the companion app? And I have no cadence sensor paired. We need more fan, more drink. Finally some summer weather coming here. 28 degrees Celsius yesterday, of which 5 minutes was spent outside. The rest was sitting down in front of a computer. Today, thunderstorms. Love a good thunderstorm. Can I drop a feather? I can. Oh, my cadence is up to 65 in the companion. It's a good observation. I don't know why that is the case. Nor do I know why my stress level is gone on the Garmin reporting at the top. Heart rate's not too far off. I'll be able to overlay both of these, given it's recording on, what, 4 Garmins at the moment. So the Instinct Esports version, 1030 plus on the front, 830 and 530 recording 2 other power meters. On the Explover Noser smart trainer. I've had the Noser for around 12 months now. They sent a unit to me, well, 12 months ago, to provide some feedback on for firmware and things, accuracy. So I did that, quite a few back and forths. Then it sat on the shelf for about 8 months. So I thought today while I was cleaning up, I'll unbox it, we'll check the firmware, and we'll ride it. I think 12 months is enough time for me to do a review, so I should get about it. The companion app isn't reading from the Ticker X, no. I haven't got anything paired via the Ticker X or directly to it. Funny though. Woo! Alright, the smart trainer part works. I feel like jump off the cadence. Can see if I can get this sound sorted. Is that what I want? That down, that up. Instant, everything else. And then, whoa! It's still not right. Did I move the wrong one? Nope. That is just crazy loud cobbles. Oh, hopefully that's a few more beeps and dings and things. Alright, let's get stuck into it. Nice flowing course this one, a little bit of uphill. This downhill's nice and quick. It's ticking over well. What about my stress? My stress has disappeared. I think it's within the thresholds of the Garmin. Okay, well, we're early in the game here. Thumb me back. Dude, I'm busy. We can't be going around thumbing each other while I'm live streaming. It's a bit rude. Companion app keeps losing connection on Apple TV. Wi-Fi, possibly. I've had nothing but good times with the companion app. Though I'm not even past the... Let's just start riding our bikes for a bit. My access point is probably 2 meters this way though. Can I USD? I have no idea what that means, I'm sorry. Alrighty. Tim runs nearest the pin. So at the set intervals, if you're nearest Tim on the rider menu there, you'll get a freebie of something. You'll get stickers or t-shirts or something. Usually up for grabs. Alright, I'm going to kill that Garmin overlay for now. It's still running on here. I want to see what's up with the stress. Threshold is 60 for stress. It's still at 0 though. Okay, the highest it can go is 100. Body battery. Threshold. 43. I'm just checking the heart rate you can set the threshold to. That's fine. I know what my threshold heart rate is, or say maximum heart rate. So when it goes over that, it can show a little animation somewhere else. It's a little bit confusing. No, apparently I'm dead. And that's as good as it's going to be. Alright. We'll look more into that. It's quite basically how it works. So it's Bluetooth broadcasting from the watch straight to the PC. The PC runs a little widget app, which I bring in as a separate window with a chroma key in the background to make it appear as part of the Zwift metrics there. I think it's a cool idea. But I don't quite know what the other metrics are for stress and body battery. I've just upped the stress threshold to 100. Apparently I'm still dead. Doing well for a good dead guy. Ticking along here with the AHDR crew. Is it possible for the Garmin watch to pass ANT plus signal to the computer without antenna? No, because the computer won't know what to receive. You need an ANT stick on your computer for it to receive that signal. What you're after is Bluetooth rebroadcast. Most computers these days will have a Bluetooth module built on. Average distance across the closest to the beacon, gamification. Jeremy, that'd be exactly like the pace partners. Oh, Douglas is watching the stream too. Good stuff. Don't follow my lead, mate. I'm being a rascal at the front there, up against the bug zapper. I'm 41 meters ahead of the bacon. Now, I'm not sure if the after party is 2 laps or 1 lap. That'd be interesting to know. 1 lap around here is for 6Ks, I think. A kicker heating issue. Every smart trainer has a heating issue. That's depending on the power you're riding at. It's 2 laps, thanks Ash. 12K, so oof, that's a long one. If you're putting out 300 watts or 400 watts or whatever watts, that energy has to go somewhere. Most trainers, that goes into the flywheel. It's a massive heat sink. So if you touch the flywheel or resistance unit on any trainer, if you have one that's enclosed, such as most of the elite units or the Hammer series, you can't touch the flywheel. Kicker. Neo still gets pretty warm. The disc will get warm. That's where your energy is going. That's your breakfast. That's your dinner. That's your food from yesterday getting converted into heat into your kicker. It's definitely not from the power plug. The power draw on these things are minimal out of their wall socket. I used to check that as part of the reviews, but it was a little bit too far down the rabbit hole. Surprisingly enough, the Neo, I think, used more power in sleep mode than it did when you were riding, because the Neo is self-powered. So if you had the thing plugged in, it was using about 5 or 6 watts, I think. Were you racing? No. I haven't been on the bike for a few days after all that testing of that machine power meter. I'll see how I feel. I might do a short effort, but it won't be the full 2 laps. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed yesterday. The more content I make, the less riding that I do, which is obvious. The harder you work, the less you play. Beautiful day yesterday. It's nice to be inside though. Put the legs up for a little bit. England, welcome along, Ashley Williams. How are we doing in cricket lately? Is the cricket still happening? Are we beating England? I hope so. Don't mention the sandpaper. Olaf, welcome along. How's my heart rate tracking? Not bad. Not bad. The wristy is coming good. So what I'm looking at tonight, the 2 values that I know. First of all, the heart rate over there on the Zwift window. It's from my Ticker X. The heart rate up there with the Garmin metrics are from the Instinct Esports optical sensor. As I said at the start, typically I don't have much luck. Okay, now the stress score on the screen is dash, dash, dash. So the watch itself is dashing me. I'm not sure, but I've been wearing the watch for a few days. Maybe it has to know a few benchmarks first. We'll see. We'll dig into it. Do I think the power meter from Magine is enough for a weekender cyclist? No, I do not. The reason being, if you're backing that, you're backing a product that doesn't work. Yet. I'm uncomfortable with that. A left-only power meter? Sure, for a weekend cyclist, yes. So single-sided, no worries. But to say something is okay when obviously it can't handle a sprint, it has some cadence issues. No, I can't do it. Look, they've got something to work on. What was awesome to see with that, I didn't want to stress too much because I'll get taken out of context by Magine or someone else saying, he said this part here, the power was perfect. Snip. And use that as advertising or promotional or whatever. So I had to be careful with the wording. But that was one of the better power meters during steady state efforts. When I drilled into the Lama lab test, 200 watts, 250 watts, really good. White's one climb out the road here. Beautiful little climb, probably 4%, 4.5%. The numbers were bang on. Great, fantastic. Can't say that about a lot of power meters. Interesting question came up, how do I trust the Asiomas? I don't, but I kind of believe them more than most other power meters. So the RTMs won't be perfect under all scenarios, of course not. But I am confident that when I'm riding in a smooth cadence that I didn't drop and then come back up. That didn't happen. And that wasn't a gear change, which would be maybe a slight wonk on the cadence and then the dip. And you saw in the sprints. I'd be pretty sad if my sprints went from 1,000 to 700 watts in the second pedal stroke. So we trust, but we still verify. The Vector 3s have been getting a good workout. They're back on my acceptable list with the new battery doors. This group is flying. What are we doing? 55 k's an hour. Get out of here. Flying. Heart rate's looking good. Within a few beats. Not bad. In my latest video on the SB20, the Stages Bike Part 3, the long-awaited Part 3, which took too long for me to make. I was happy I waited though, because there was such a progress in development of the firmware. There's a lot of extra things I could cover there. I mentioned that I like the wattage to be measured in the flywheel. I don't know if they can do that or not. Be nice. That's effectively what Wahoo did back in 2015. They went from the Kicker 14 strain gauge model to the model mode with the flywheel. They had the hardware to do it. Stages, don't know. Thunderstorm, it's on. Hang on, we've got to get involved here. Thumbs. We can't drop a standard Thunderstorm circle bomb with a group ride. A lot of French riders. Japan. Oh, sorry, missed that dude. Italy. Belgium. Eddie Merckx. Good to see you, Eddie. Right on, mate. The cannibal. Where are we? Boom! There we go. I don't have a thumbs up given total on the screen. It's 23 at the moment. I can see on my other status. It's my heart rate going up, giving thumbs. It's hard work. They need a bomb. They need a thumb bomb. Back to me. Oh, Jesus! That was close. Alright. Alrighty. Spain, welcome along, Spain. Ultegra DR2 with the upgrade from 105. Always. Every day of the week. DR2 Ultegra. It's definitely an upgrade from mechanical durace of the previous model. For sure. And that's what I've done on this bike now. I'm on the older Giant TCR, which I upgraded. Still going very well. Very well. Slane as well. The mountain man that he is. Getting lost in the Australian wilderness. If you follow Dr. Slane on Instagram, you'll see his adventures down in the Otways. Best value, dual-sided power meter for money. Don't worry too much about dual-sided. What you want is total power. So if you're saying dual-sided, that sort of rules out spider-based. Your SRAMs, your Powder Max, your Quarks, AXO, XKD, XPowerS. Spider base is still pretty damn good. Powder Max NGCO on this bike. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And you saw the difference. If you just put two reviews side by side, the Powder Max, the start of that video was, it was good to have the confidence as soon as you put the pedal down, the first pedal stroke, I'm like, oh, that's the same number. Away we go. And it remained like that. The ones that are hard to review are the you put the pedal down. Oh, it's the same. Oh, hang on, something changed. Oh, it's the same again. Right along. Oh, it's different again. Oh, it's the same. Oh, it's different. If it's always different, it's easy. But power meters are hard. The more I know about them, or the more I learn about power meters, the less I know about power meters. So I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. I just have a lot of experience as a consumer. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. Just the consumer experience. I haven't got access to the underlying firmware, any of the diagnostics, anything like that. Just plugging it onto a bike and riding and looking at the numbers. Spider arm. Spider-wise, look, getting good numbers out of the Quark D0s. I've ridden Quarks for years, they've been great. And more recently, the Powder Max and Gico has impressed me. Aid Manning, welcome along. 6K recovery run. Oof. I think my longest run I've ever done in real life is 8Ks. If you're doing a 6K recovery run, you're doing well. Slovakia, welcome along. The DCR trainer guide is up. We saw Ray post that today. 2020, 2021. Good overview that Ray publishes every year, which goes from A to Z. A being the very, very start. What is a trainer? Different types of trainers, what to look for. And then gets into the lower level details of different price brackets and the experience on each of those. Not a lot changed this year. It's still a good reference point and good to see that updated. AHDR, Aussie Hump Day Ride. Six minutes at 400 watts. Whew. Not something I got in the legs. Whew. You'll love an SPDSL power meter for traveling. Somebody mentioned in my yesterday's video, was that an SPDSL power meter that I saw? I felt like teasing him. I kind of teased him, but it wasn't much of a tease. I was going to say, oh, that was out of the shot. But I said if I had one, it would be well out of the shot. Oh, don't worry, I look at everything in the shot. If you notice the wine bottles too, on one of the little clips where I was turning the pedals, I don't drink. It's Max. Max is on the booze already. Hey Chris, welcome along. Hey, we got $5 through Super Chat, thank you so much. That goes to the Nappy Fund of Junior Lama, or the Coffee Fund for Senior Lama. So I appreciate it. They help fuel these rides and in turn warm up that flywheel. The new smart bikes don't steer. Jason, they don't. They, yeah, no integration as yet we've seen from Zwift. Was promised. But no integration with those buttons. But it's a green bottle too, so it's not showing up too well in the overlay. Stages has the buttons, the Kicker bike has the buttons, Tax bike has extra buttons, I think. They're all ready for it. Integration. 2 AM local time for racing, yeah, it's a bit too early, or too late, depending on which side of the day. Julian, welcome along. strange course for a bunch ride. This one, you're either up or down. Welcome along, Blake. Good to see you. A steering wheel rather than buttons. Yeah, look, the kicker bike could steer with an add-on. Samuel, your power meter reads high. How do you know for the Asioma Unos? Well, you're lucky with the Asioma Unos. You can run a static weight test as verification. It's within their app. If you're a channel member, I've done a members only video about my static weight calibration of the Asiomas the other day. It wasn't something for the main channel, it was just to turn the camera on and point and click and go. Quick upload, just a bit of behind the scenes for members. So if you're a channel member, you'll get access to those ones. But in short, with the Asioma Uno, if you have a known weight of 10 kilos, or 20 kilos even better, you can just simply hang it off the crank, check within the app. The app has a PDF guide on how to do that. Certified weights, down to the gram, are expensive. There's a bit of a hack you can do. And I may do a video on this too soon. Just as a FYI. You can buy fairly accurate hanging weights for about $30 Australian, so you'll get 25 bucks US, from fishing stores. Up to 40 kilos. I've measured my weight, my certified weight, and it was within a few grams at 20 kilos. So, reversing that up, all you need to do is get some mass, be it sand, any kind of weight you can hang off the pedal, measure that entire system with the mounting kit, and then use that as the weight to certify your pedal. It's a bit of mucking around. You've got to elevate your bike, make sure the back wheel doesn't turn, and all that. I've always done it at 90 degrees. The Asiomas, you can hang it at 6 o'clock, so you don't have to worry about the angle. So, long story short, you can do a static weight test. That won't send the calibration off. You need to confirm first that you're happy with how it reads. But give that a shot. Takes me about 5 minutes to do, and I do that on a regular basis now, just to make sure everything is in line. Trust and verify. A hard ride's useful before the winter off season. Really depends. Coaching questions, there's a reason why coaches charge a couple of $100 per month. They need to know the exact rider they're talking to, how you respond to certain training stimulus, and what your goals are. Really depends. I was more of an evergreen rider. There was TTs all the way around the calendar. In Australia, road season was during winter, crit season during summer, and on the edges of both of those there was some decent stage racing. So we just rode hard all the time, or didn't when there was no racing. Vector 3 Joules online for $250 refurbished from Garmin. If they're from Garmin with a guarantee, okay. Wouldn't buy them second hand without a warranty. No TDU for anyone this year, Julian, or next year. Well, there is a festival of cycling, I think they announced, but look, to be honest, without the trade show and the accompanying events around those things, it's not all about the pro riders. I do love Adelaide. We just don't know what position we're going to be in for group rides or anything. So I haven't booked anything for Adelaide. Paddy O'Connell, if you are not watching from Ireland, I will eat, what's an Irish stew or something like that. Paddy, you've got to be from Ireland. Please tell me you're from Ireland. If you say you're from Broadmeadows, I still wouldn't be surprised. You're still going regardless. Look, for a week away with the family, it wouldn't be bad in Adelaide that time of year. So are we on to fast laps here, are we? We must be. Is this go time? It must be. I think we're on to the, yeah, we are. It's on. I'm not registered with Zwift Power anyway, so my results don't count. Oh. Heart rate's looking all right. Yeah, the Garmin is looking good. I'll do an overlay with the analyzer tool later on. I guess we're on. A little bit too excited there. Way too far forward. Garmin Instinct, the new esport watch. This would be stressing the heart rate sensor. Yeah, the error's not going to help me. Not when I haven't got the energy. Morning, Germany. I haven't looked back at the Sturzo for a while. I should be able to get easy through here and stay with the bunch. I'm cooked though. Racing in a jersey, don't do it. Lama breathes. I'm not going to be breathing this too hard for too much longer. I twitch on that rare occasion. It's a good test of the heart rate sensor. I'll give it that. I'll go one lap of hard and I'm going to back off the last lap. I don't have it in the legs. Nice and fast this course though, really fast. These speeds in real life, if the course allowed. Zwift is a bit generous with the speed calculation. Hey, Shred Planet. Huge bunch still. There we go. I'm working hard. Too far forward. Not sure, Danny. Not sure. Maybe a new mapping file, depending on what trainer. I'm done. We'll get to the start, finish and swing off. That's all I got in the legs. No. I got tomorrow to live through. That's me. Go. What was the bunch? 30, 35 strong. Nice one. That was good. No, that's it for me. I need to walk tomorrow and change nappies at 6 a.m. That's a bit of fun, I know. It's good to be up around the front and know what it takes to stay up around the front. But it doesn't count if you're not there at the end. It's one thing to be with the front bunch, it's another thing to be in contention for the win. You find that out the very hard way. Oof. Good data though. Good data from that heart rate. Whew. Ah, go Ash. Super strong, mate. Oh, you dropped off too, mate. Cool. Ooh. Oh, wow. That's a bit of fun. So I've got quite a few videos in the works at the moment, actually. Have you ever seen one of those kit grid build videos where they lay all the parts down of a bike build? They're really hard to do if you want to do them right and not have warped components or wheels. I think I've got the technique down though. You'll have to wait and see. Here comes bunch 2. So I get another arrow. Oh. Heart rate's good. The Garmin watch is doing well on the wrist. My stress is, I'm still dead. You can see the middle bar there at the top. So how that's working is just Bluetooth broadcast from the watch to the Garmin app, which I've given one of those leet speak names. It's a gamer streamer with a 3 and an E. Do you think I knew how to Google that? My word. I'm too old for that. I am getting message alerts though. Who's this from? Feedback on yesterday's video. Leet 1337. At least it could do something. Put a little skull and crossbones or something. It's funny, you can set the thresholds, and when you hit the thresholds, you can have another overlay pop up elsewhere. But it's too janky. It really is janky. They're little tiny windows that you've got to put in as a separate little box, and it works, but it's just another thing to set up. For me, when I set up the stream, I've got to set up Zwift, the web management portal for Restream chat, the write-on scripts, music in the background. I've got about 10 screens open for the production plus the little stream deck stuff. Adding another one on top of that. Yeah. But it's fun. I don't mind the data. We'll have a look to see if it's useful. I'll have to dig around to find out where my stress has gone though. Maybe it's setting a benchmark for my first interval or effort that I've done with the watch. What's with all the noise? I've outed myself as an internet gamer. F in chat, people, F in chat. The body battery. Divided by 10, that's about how I feel out of 100. I feel like about 5.3. I'm not sure what 53 means. I'm not sure how I feel when it's at 100. I'm not sure how I feel when it's at 0. I need a baseline to compare my feels against the data. It's all good to have the data. It's all good to have a sleep tracker and things like that, or something to tell you to drink. But sometimes it's not how you feel. That's not, I don't know. Data overload? I'm keen to check it all out. I've had things like the core body temperature sensor installed on the strap. That's interesting. But one thing I've learned is the data has to be simple. It has to just straight work. Jump on your bike and ride. I think riding the bike is one of the most simplest things you can do. Pedal comes up, push pedal down. Oh, the other one came up. We'll push that one down too. Bike riding, and you've got to steer, not hit things. Optional. But then we add all these additional components to it. Don't know. That's why something like a single, so not a single-sided power meter, but the so the Power Max NGCO, it didn't give me left-right balance. Didn't matter. It gave me power numbers that were what I was doing. Simple. Oh, and no zero offset or anything like that. Just ride. Am I back alive? Where's my stress level? There we go. There's the Pac-Man. That Pac-Man ride can be harder than the front. Trying to keep up with those guys. If you're on the front driving that, so fast in some of the hump day rides. It's good stuff though. Wet and windy Scotland. Yeah, Tobin, I did. It was a bit of a duck and cover after I hit publish on that. I mean, they had the data anyway. They knew what I was going to say. I think I delivered it fairly. I tell you, there was a couple of takes on where I looked at the camera. I said it's a good bell because I tapped it. I bang things if I'm like, oh, this thing, bang. You know, it's the blokey thing to do. Oh, blah, this table, smack. This power meter, bang. And it's gone ding. It resonated. I should have turned the microphone up even higher. It sounded hilarious. So that's my reference of it's a good bell. I'm glad those little snippets aren't misinterpreted as me being too much of a smartass. You got to have a laugh. Got to have a laugh. Because to be honest, the last thing I need is another power meter. That's as what Ray says. Last thing we need is another smart trainer. But it's still really interesting to test them, to see where companies are at. And I think those manufacturers out of China, Mijin, Sugi, XKD, they've got the ability to be complete game changers. We've seen the German power meter makers, love them. Oh, SRM. We have our differences. They're rock solid. They're not going to move from their pricing. For good reason, they don't need to. These Chinese manufacturers, though, they're close. They're really close. And as soon as they get it right, whether you purchase one of these or not, you're going to benefit from it. Because the market will have to adjust. Oh, sure, welcome along, mate. Good to see you. Too many spark trainers is barely enough. Mate, so I've got to take a photo of a certain bike componentry in the garage where all the trainers are. So I've been moving trainers today. I can tell you that too many trainers is enough. Is way too much. I did find a new one though. So I've got another one I've got quite a few to review, but I found a new one that was sent as part of a revision update. It wasn't a brand new product, it was a revision. So, more toys. Ugh. Eaton Foe, nice. Oh mate, I'm not sweating anymore. Before I was sweating. Trying to keep up with that front group, my word. Oh, difficult to find a bike though, an entire bike at the moment, speaking of new bikes. So I've got parts of a new bike. And I think I've got every part that I need. Just wait, I'm super excited. It's going to be so much fun. My storage does not match. Numbers of trainers is pretty close. I think Ray and I are on par there. Ray has a lot more room than I do though. IQ squared power meter. Latest update is in my video. That's all I know. I reached out to IQ squared a couple of weeks back when things started getting angry again with everyone about that. Ray has a crane because Ray needs a crane. He's got 2 levels. Best budget power meter for accuracy and reliability. I don't have an answer for that. If I find one, I'll let you know. Some are very close. Some are very close. What's going on, Bon? Oh, cool. Good job. Not only do I have a wife who's into cycling, she can move heavy stuff. We're still moving a ton of stuff around at the moment. Tries hard. This bike is... it's next level. Yeah. It's going to go well. It's going to go very well. Tobin SRAM put the D0 Quark. That was $3.99 for a while, wasn't it? And then I think it went back to $5.99. $3.99 is a game changer. Texneo 2, between those two. Single or dual sided? Well, the single sided power meter is going to be fine for what it measures. Left times 2. If you're not equal both sides, no one really is all the time, you just have to accept that that's what it's measuring. Double or dual sided? Having left right, for me it's interesting because I can compare left right readings. For standard riding, no, not really. Not unless you're really wonky. What do we get? 95th. I rolled Ash by 0.1 of a second. Oh, no, that's the screen I want. Rightio. There needs to be a click right on for everyone. Bang, bang. Alright, no, stay here. We'll go up the hill again as we cool down. Ah, good stuff. I rolled. It was the throw. Must have been that bike that I'm on. The nerfed bike. What bike you on, Ash? Whoa, tunes! Down, DJ Lama. Down. Top 100. Is everyone cooling down now? Okay, now we can go back to giving some thumbs. Whew. Stress is still hasn't come back in. Sean Smith, what did you miss? Nothing much, mate. I suffered for a little bit there as a first for a while. I suffered a lot more than my 5x5 efforts that I've been streaming in most recent times. But Sean, what I'm testing tonight is the Garmin Instinct Esports edition that broadcasts over Bluetooth my heart rate, which is looking pretty good. Over here is the Ticker X heart rate on the Zwift side of things. And up the top there, next to the time of the Garmin stats, top one heart rate, second one. Stress levels, I've been dead for a while now. And the bottom one is bottom battery. Yeah, the arse fell out of that. Body battery. I can't even recall where I started the body battery. I'll have to scroll back. It's still an Instinct watch though, so it doesn't have a lot of the additional sleep tracking that I'm aware of. I don't wear a watch sleeping, can't do it. No Garmin Pay. I've been wearing a 945 for a long time, so it's definitely, in feature set, it's a step down from that. But I was really keen to see what these numbers mean. I was the first one to lol at Garmin doing an esports watch, and I had a tweet lined up to fire out with, yeah, lol. That GPS ain't going to be getting much work if it's an esports watch. But it's not what it's for. And what's really interesting, turn these tunes down here, I can hear myself. I think they're onto something with the body metrics of professional esports players. If anybody's seen the documentary, especially out of the Asian countries, where they are nuts for the stuff. You have gamer houses, teams, managers. Cheers. Oh, Vaughn, on the way home. Macca's run or something. Frozen Coke. I'd love one, thank you. So it makes sense for the esports, for body tracking, body metrics, be it HRV, be it sleep tracking, which I don't think this does. All those additional metrics. Yeah, I think there's merit in that. But yeah, so anyhow, that's I was interested in it. Power meter power matching makes erg worse. Yes, typically it does. That was a good ride. I was really happy with that. What are we gonna? We'll get to 40Ks at least. Cold Coke, frozen Coke all the way. We're getting a 7-Eleven just up the road. Look out. That's going to save me so much money on coffee. 7-Eleven here in Australia do dollar coffees. $2 if you want to get fancy. If you want to get even more tricky, you put the $2 coffee and then you press the $1 extra shot. Whew, that's good stuff. Exert, I haven't tried. The people behind Exerter were in contact with me a while ago, really wanting to get on board and check it all out. It's, if you're a data nerd, I hear it is absolutely awesome to have. I didn't have the time to sit down and really get my head around it. If we get some summer weather here and I'm kicking back on the beach one day, it's not going to happen. I'll look into it. If I get some downtime, I'm keen to see where things are at. I still love to see more dynamic AI coaching, which Von and I spoke about years ago on the Lama drives. Something like Strava has years and years of my data and how I respond to certain stimulus and certain training, what times of day I train at, do I recover better if I train in the morning. If they have that data, they could just mine that and give us some really interesting stats. Something like Zert, I'm sure I've thought about that. There's a million ways to carve up your data, but not only just the data that you record, as I said, time of day that you train, the length of intervals, how fast your heart rate recovers. Even now with the other sensors on the bike, how many cars were on that route that I rode? Maybe don't do that route today. Do the one next to it that you rode this time last year with less cars on it. All that data is being recorded. UX, there we go. It's all about simplicity. It's got to work. Good to see Apple release some new laptops today. I'm a bit disappointed there's no 16-inch. Anybody looking at the Apple release of the M1? 13-inch MacBook Pro. Let's talk tech. Oh. All the work that I do is on a 15-inch. He's on a 15-inch MacBook Pro from early 2017. It's due for an upgrade. It's the one I spilled coffee on and killed a few of the ports on. So it's been on its last legs for a while, Intel-based. I'd jump ship to the M1. I would. But there's no 32 gig because the M1 doesn't support 32 gig of RAM. That was an interesting one. I haven't watched the entire thing. I've watched the Cliff Notes. I'll watch the entire thing tonight. I'm an Apple fan, of course. I think I watch most apps are 8-chip native. For me, Chrome, Final Cut Pro. We're done. So, yeah, the 16-inch is coming out next year, quite possibly, if that's when they're going to support 32. 13-inch all the way. Shauna was thinking about it, and I fully spec'd one, and I almost hit buy, because I think the fully spec'd 13-inch with 16 gig and 2 terabytes of SSDs, only about 3.5 Australian. Obviously a business expense. Couldn't do it though. I can't go back to 13. 16 is, even with an external monitor. If I was going to have something with like a 13, I'd need an external monitor. And for that, I'd best off just get a desktop machine with a lot of grunt. Tonight I am on the Explovenosa trainer. Questionable benchmarks, yeah. I'll have a look at their... does anybody have one? Does any independent testers have them, or is it just the Mac presentation? We'll have to have a look. But I'm not sure, so I'm due to go get a new 16-inch. I was waiting for today, and hopefully they were going to introduce some new Intel ones. No such luck. Do I wait? I am a professional trainer swapper, mate. I tried to put the numbers to it once. On last count, there were 32 smart trainers here. A few of those have gone to friends during COVID times. Yeah. There's a lot. 16 should be coming. Well, they just sneak those out, Elliot. They'll just sneak them out late 2019 or early 2019. Yeah, look at me. I could probably hold out till January. We're halfway through November now. Anyway, I've got to check my watch to know we're actually in November. I'm sure a few of us can relate. Yes, headwind in front of me. Yes, right there. I won't be going the M1 at a 13 inch. I can't go 13 inch. Not for Final Cut Pro. How's the heart rate going? 140. It's not bad. I'm going to do the overlay of this recording from the Ticker X versus this from the Esports watch. Power PC. Now, I only ever went to Mac when they went Intel. I was a PC snob for a long time. Oh, this is all Windows 10. But now it doesn't really matter what operating system you've got. There used to be major compatibility between them, but now everything is in a web browser pretty much. Before mid-2021, yeah, I got a lot of videos to put out between now and then. Boxing Day sales. But then I can't get the... we'll see. I'll hold out till... If there's Boxing Day sales or Black Friday sales, I'll have a look. But I need to fully spec up a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Definitely not for Zwifting. It's all Final Cut Pro. It's all about bandwidth for editing 4K. So chat, Mac or PC, what do people use for their day-to-day? I bet it's about 50-50. Or are people going more their iPhones? My wife, Von, Mrs. Lama, she uses her phone for almost everything. Rarely does she pull her computer out. PC, Mac, wee. Mac, PC, both, iPad, I use both, PC, yeah, here we go. Johan, thank you for the subscription if you're in the stream. I've got to say, I'm really happy to see the subscription numbers. They tick along quite well. It's usually 100 a day or so. I'm not going viral with anything. Don't do controversy so it doesn't dip down. It just ticks along, just a nice, good trajectory of new subscribers. So I'm really happy with that. It's good to see the growth always there every single day. If you're a subscriber, thank you for sticking around. I do appreciate it. Caught up in the Apple ecosystem. Elliot, me too. AirShare. Every time I screen grab something from a phone, or I take a photo outside or of our little boy or something, and you send it to Vaughn, it's click send, AirShare done. I've got to do my smart table, don't I? My updated smart desk. Humidity is up. Temperature is up 4 degrees with just me in this room. 4 degrees. That's a lot. Having access to power on the desk is fantastic. Charging the Asiomas the other night, I've usually got to put the bike up against the wall or somewhere and find a power point, and I've got a power board underneath this desk now. Bang, straight in, the bike's right here, Asioma's charged. Works well. You hate the Apple closed ecosystem, but the Apple Silicon makes me excited. Were they at 5 nanometers? They were at 5 and Intel couldn't get to 9 or something. I was listening to that was a... Initially I thought, no, I'm not going to go, I'm going to stick with Intel. But then I looked at the apps that I use on the Mac. Built-in obsolescence. Tobin, I've had MacBook Pros for so many years. And they work for so many years so well. 5. That was tiny. Windows PC, Apple TV. See, everyone's a bit of a, yeah, this is good. I think things being network connected now, it doesn't matter. Our operating system is technically the internet now. Everything, it's online. Instinct version 1's going well. I'm not sure it's worth the upgrade. I wasn't across the Instinct watch. This is the first one that I've had. I went from the 9.4, I went 9.35, 9.45. I still got the 9.45, but then into this for the esports metrics and things. Heart rate spot on. I was surprised at how cut down this is. Well, it's half the price of it. Anyway, so PC or Mac for Zwift, PC all the way. Mac will still work, but for the best experience, shadows and all that sort of stuff, that's me done. Oh, I'm 43.9. 44, here we go. Awesome. Alrighty. Rock and roll. Hey, thanks everyone for the chat tonight. That was good. It's always my highlight. As I stop all these recording, I can even stop this. That's 4. Stop. What does that do on the screen? That's the next question. Stop. Save. That's going to go up to. I'm interested to see what this looks like. This data from this effort, this esports effort. I'm pretty sure this wasn't designed for this kind of esport. Holy crap. I'll see how it looks in Garmin Connect. I wasn't planning on doing just a straight video on the Instinct Esports. I was planning on just doing the live stream stuff with it and tracking it. I'll see what kind of metrics it pulls up on though, and why I died at the start. Well, I know why I died. I didn't have the legs, but the why that didn't report anything other than dash dash. Is it a setting? Is it a threshold that I went over? Is it useless for using? I mean, these esports technically are the clickety mousety. Listen to me being old, trying to refer to computer gamers. As I save 3, 4 fit files all at once. That worked well though. We'll see how it goes. Explover Noza S trainer from Acer. It's been out for over 12 months now, so I did a full update on it today. Couldn't do the spin down because there's no spin down in Zwift. We'll have a chat about that if I get to that and do a Lama lab test. Tomorrow, we'll look at the weather, might do a Lama lab test on this. Just for riding then though, without looking at the numbers as a comparison, up and down the hills fine. You saw that really hard effort. It was doing the hills up and down, so the resistance change in sim mode, working fine. There was no cadence. Let's double check that for the very last time. That's bizarre. So it's not picking up the Asiomas, the NGCO, or, which is the Power to Max. All of that. I think that's a Zwift thing. You can see the Noza S paired over Bluetooth, and it's primarily Bluetooth I'm using these days. Cool. All right, everyone, we'll leave it there. Have a good day. If you're out of Europe, England, and that side of the world, we are finishing up our day here. Any requests from Mac is, see, that's why we have a smartwatch. Any request, chat, we can deliver. Just frozen Coke. It's summer here now. It's becoming summer weather, so it's, yeah. Giant CycloSmart is... Sorry, what happened to the Giant Trainer? Okay, the Giant Trainer didn't really get off the ground. I think it was only sold in one certain market. It had a chain inside it. If you've seen the inside of that, chain and belt drive, as you mentioned there. Really interesting. They didn't follow through. The Noza S, very similar in build to the Magine T100, and very similar in builds, like almost identical to the Kicker Core. The 3 of those trainers, you could line them up. If you blindfolded yourself and touched them, you wouldn't know the difference. They're very, very similar. Yeah, I'm not sure the licensing of or the... Anyhow, I'm sure there's something going on business-wise that we don't know about there. They're very similar trainers, though. What else did I miss? There's Giant CycloSmart Tobin. That was a Brighton unit. It was rebadged. Do I like the Saris H3? Good in erg mode, the Saris H3. Doesn't really come up in conversation, though. It's usually Kicker Neo or some of the elite trainers. H3 just sort of ticks along. It does fine. Really good in erg mode. And as Ray put in his overview of trainers for 2021 that went out today, it's pretty much a case of get whatever you can find because these things are selling like hotcakes. We're reaching peak indoor cycling season for the 3rd time this year. Usually in January we hit that peak. COVID, March 18th, exactly on March 18th. Look at any graph. That's when indoor cycling went crazy because everyone was in lockdown. If we're going back in that direction, things are going to be hard to come by. Get yourself a trainer or service your current trainer because if you're going to be using it a lot, you don't want it to fall over halfway through any lockdowns. The chain was to move the guts further back to improve the rear triangle, I think. Oh, yeah. I thought the chain was part of the belt drive. It looks scary anyway, having a chain inside that. Anyhow, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everyone, for dropping by. We shall see you next time. As I said, there's a bike build video coming up. Yeah. Should be good. Should be good. More outdoor rides too. All right, everyone. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.